Tonight on CTV, an accident at Prospect Road in Whitcomb caused major delays.
Then we bring you an update on the Peeping Tom incident on campus.
And later, a member of the Little Rock Nine has a message for CSU students. All of this and more starting now on CTV. Good evening, Rams. I'm Janae Hancock.
And I'm Sydney Paul. Here's what's happening in the news near you. Police are investigating a serious car accident at the intersection of Prospect Road and Whitcomb that occurred at approximately 3 this afternoon. Authorities closed the intersection in all directions from Shields Street to Center Avenue for several hours. Officials reopened Prospect and Whitcomb about 15 minutes ago. This closure follows a series of crashes that closed both Taft Hill Road and Shields Street on Tuesday morning.
Dive rescue members and firefighters rescued an unidentified person from a Sudan partially submerged in a pond near the Poudre River, Monday evening. When first responders arrived at the scene, the vehicle was submerged up to the front seats, and the driver had to be extracted from the car. The car appeared to be driving westbound when it traveled through a wire fence and into the pond about 50 yards north of Harmony Road. Firefighters performed CPR and the driver was taken to the Medical Center of the Rockies in Loveland, according to emergency radio communication. The victim's condition is not immediately available at this time.
A 30-year-old female inmate was found unresponsive in her cell at 4:57 in the morning on Tuesday, according to a news release. Jail medical staff, UC Health EMS, and deputies attempted to revive her, but she was pronounced dead at the scene. The 8th Judicial District Critical Incident Response Team is investigating the death, and the identity of the inmate has not yet been released at this time.
Saturday night, a peeping Tom incident took place in front of Summit Hall, making students and others at CSU reconsider how safe campus really is.
That's right, Janae. As far as we know, there have not been any new reports released. However, this is an ongoing investigation, and it is still impacting students all across campus.
This is the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, I got an email, but that's maybe just like if there's cameras or anything that like if people know that they're there, maybe they'll be less likely to do something.
I'm in Summit Hall, so it was a little frightening to hear about that, and it sounds like it's been happening a little bit throughout the semester.
Kind of appalled me at first because I wasn't aware that that could happen, that people actually would like do that on campus late at night and like just like people like coming by and like yelling sexual comments. It's just, I'm not okay with that.
Again, this is an ongoing investigation, and anyone with information is encouraged to call CSU PD.
Precautions students can take to better protect themselves from situations like this in the future.
Staying out and making sure that you aren't glued to your phone, keeping your eyes aware and ready for any suspicious activity can help, definitely for sure. Now reporting live from CTV Channel 11, this is Alexandria Cullen. Back to you, Janae and Sydney.
Thanks, Alexandria. CSU's chapter of the Student Veterans Organization was honored at the Colorado State House in Denver on the university's 150th birthday. The SVO was named the top chapter in the nation out of over 1,500 chapters according to the award. The SVO is not only a social organization, but it also serves as a professional development opportunity for student veterans. The recognition and opportunities awards like this one bring help establish CSU as an educational destination for veterans.
Now imagine skiing without snow. That's exactly what this team did to train for their upcoming ski season. Allison Tackett has the story.
That's right, Sydney. I went and met up with the Nordic High School ski team to learn more about their training process.
Colorado is known for its beautiful views, cold temperatures, and its skiing. Even though the weather forecast has been showing downpours of snow recently, it hasn't always been that way for the Poudre High School ski team. The head coach spent the fall and winter months creating ways for his team of 38 students to get in shape for ski races.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. We might have had all the talent, but we work a lot harder than these teams without snow. And now when we have it, we appreciate it more.
even though measly snow accumulated in Fort Collins meant their opportunity to practice on snow in town were non-existent. He would take his team ice skating outside of Moby Arena, run in a Valentine's Day race, took the team on hikes, and taught them how to ski at public parks. They arrived to races a day early so they could spend a full day skiing, and when the race was over, they'd stay after and spend the afternoon practicing more just to take advantage of the snow in the mountains. The coach says, where we were on day one, from having students barely being able to stand up on their skis at Snowy Mountain Range to sending kids to state in February, was pretty remarkable. Allison Tackett, CTV, Channel 11.
If you want to keep up with the team and see how they are doing throughout the season, you can add them on Facebook at Fort Collins Nordic.
CSU just received its third platinum rating from the Sustainability Tracking Assessment and Rating System this week. Colorado State is one of only 5 universities out of 993 to do this. The STARS organization has been grading sustainability since 2008. CSU has submitted 5 reports since 2011 and has received the gold designation twice and platinum 3 times. The report evaluates academics, operations, leadership, engagement, and innovation on a university basis.
A CSU crowdfunding platform called RAM Funder has been helping sponsor student organizations and sponsored programs since 2013. The platform provides people with the opportunity to fundraise for various projects and allows others to support their fellow students. According to RAM Funder's homepage, the service is mainly used to raise money for research, club travel expenses, and scholarships. In the 7 years since it started, the platform has raised over $300,000 for 60 successful campaigns.
Recognizing Black History Month is just as important as recognizing individuals who played a huge role in where we are today. There was a time when schools were completely segregated until the sacrifices of 9 courageous students made the reality we see today possible.
Little Rock 9 was a name given to us by the media in 1957. And that really had to do with the fact that 9 of us elected to go to Little Rock Central High School, all based on the rights that we had through Brown versus Board of Education.
The youngest of the 9 would soon become the first Black female to graduate 3 years later, despite what she endured.
A mob of protesters had started across the street from the school. And as the days went on, in fact, the commanding officer of the Arkansas National Guard came to us because we had been blocked from going up the sidewalk to go to the school, and stated that to go home, that we weren't allowed to go to school there, and by the direction of the governor.
Thanks to President Eisenhower, the Little Rock 9 exercised their right to a better education. However, their lives were at risk.
I had a bodyguard that took me from one classroom to another. Now, even though that they were there, kids will be kids. They will find ways to harass you, to terrorize you, or what have you. A lot of things happen, you know, push down steps, spat upon, ink in my chair, spittle in the chair, all these things you had to learn how to navigate through. And I was able to do that and still do well in school.
Lanier, who currently resides in Denver, Colorado, advises students to value receiving an education in a classroom full of diversity.
You really have to know who you are and whose you are, and be centered about what you believe in. And that passion will take you to where you want to be.
Still to this day, Lanier is dedicated to ensuring equal access to education for African Americans with the Little Rock 9 Foundation. You know, Sydney, it's one thing to hear about history through classes and through movies, but it's another to actually sit down with a person who experienced history.
Definitely, that's so inspiring, and what a great opportunity to get to help meet someone who really shaped history.
It's amazing, amazing opportunity.
And that's all we have for news. But Jeffrey Lindblom is up next with entertainment. What do you have for us, Jeffrey? Let me guess, you've got another beer story.
Hey, it's hard to get away from beer in this town, but yeah, I do. But this one's not coming up so upbeat, so stay here after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey everyone and welcome. I'm Jeffrey Lindblom and we're going on this adventure together. That said, please keep your hands and feet within the parameters of your couch at all times. Snowbank Brewing's founder, Dave Rosso's dog of 10 years, Simcoe, passed away in September after being diagnosed with cancer. Last week, the brewery released a limited-time drink in honor of Rosso's beloved dog. The drink uses an ingredient called Simcoe hops in order to pay tribute to Simcoe himself. It was a running theme that the old beer dog was named Employee of the Month every month, and Rosso says that he was happy we were able to brew one final beer alongside his friend, even if it was just in spirit. Kids cannot check out the beer, but they can do a heck of a lot. Fourth graders at Lopez Elementary School spent their Valentine's Day building a pop-up restaurant. The students did the whole bit, from taking orders and delivering food, all to support the Fort Collins nonprofit Respite Care. The money made will help send students with special needs to wilderness camps. Cayman, a fourth grader that participated, said that he always gets to have a fun time, so he wants to make sure everyone else can too. Local restaurant Spoons and Austin's provided food and the fundraiser was successful. The nonprofit will send a handful of students between the ages of 10 and 15 to camp over the summer. That's the Valentine's Day care you just love to see. Helping students is a great thing all across the map, college students included. Monday, the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival, man, that's a mouthful, made its way to the University Center for the Arts right here at CSU.
The Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival, or KCACTF, or some have even been caught saying the Cactifa for short, has made its way to Fort Collins, and it's a place for theater students to find guidance, and for the lucky few, scholarship opportunities.
We are hosting Cactifa, the Kennedy Center American Performance. It's a theater festival.
The event is being hosted at the University Center for the Arts between February 16th and February 21st, and you'll find featured performances and guest artists that offer students pointers to help progress their work.
So colleges from around the country come to compete. Actors get nominated from their shows for specific parts.
There are sessions for all spectrums in the field, from beginners to the most advanced.
And then designers over in Runyon will be putting up a display of their design, whether it's costume, lights, sound, just kind of their field, and getting adjudicated and judged.
There are tons of professionals in the field ready to offer advice to climbing talents, and students are eager to have their pieces judged and critiqued. But the scholarship opportunities is what a lot of folks are after. $5,000 to some lucky students for design, acting, and music.
Amazing opportunity for actors and technicians to learn more about their craft from people who've been in the field for years.
Man, $5,000 is a lot of money. Pretty cool stuff. Shoot, if only I were talented. Early on, I mentioned that you ought to keep your hands and feet still. On the contrary, don't keep your hands or feet stationary in the slightest if you like dancing. A restaurant, bar, and nightclub, yes, it's all three, is taking over a formerly vacated space in Old Town where Mainline Ale House closed in 2018. It's intended to be all-in-one kind of experience. In other words, casual lunch by day and nightclub by night. a vigilante of sorts. Rove will be located on the ground floor of the building and will serve lunch. Element, the nightclub, will be located upstairs. Both will be accessible from the outside, but will also be linked through the interior. The club seeks to welcome a more mature crowd and will showcase a VIP area with bottle service. The club is one of the few to blend multiple atmospheres under the same roof. General manager of Robe and Element, Kyle Jongerden, says the floors won't be sticky, they'll actually be clean, a rarity in Old Town nightlife. If you're not a broke college student, maybe Element is within your element. Well, gang, that's all I've got for you this week. Even if you don't, I personally look forward to seeing you again soon. Stay tuned, though, because Jen Platero has weather next. What are we looking at, Jen?
Well, Jeffrey, everyone enjoyed the sunny day out today, but watch out because snow just might be around the corner. Stay tuned for the full cast after the break.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back.
when you want to talk, I'm here.
Hi, this is Jen Platero with today's forecast. Currently, we are looking at conditions at about 27 degrees with wind speeds at 6 miles per hour. Rams are currently experiencing what Colorado is known for, its diverse weather conditions. So it is sunny, people are riding their bikes out in the plaza area. And then don't be fooled though, because we are still receiving heavy wind speeds and snowfall as we speak. Students are still wearing their hoodies. You can see that students are able to skateboard out there. But I would advise keep those hoodies on because even though it may seem like spring, it is still cold out there. Now, as we're looking at our I-70 corridor here, we are seeing that Fort Collins and Colorado Springs are still a little high. And then Pueblo is going to be a little warmer there for you with Grand Junction at about 15 degrees. So for our highs and lows, we are looking at 30 degrees as your highest and your lowest is going to be 13 degrees with winds at about 10 miles per hour. So as we look at this corridor, Fort Collins is actually about 30 degrees and then Pueblo will be a little warmer. Grand Junction, of course, is going to be your warmest here. And then for our 5-week weather report, Wednesday is going to be a little colder. It's going to be snowing. And then for the remaining of the week, it will be a little bit cloudy Thursday, then sunnier on Friday, just a little cloudy for the weekend. That is all for weather, but stay tuned for Erica Johnson and Brandon Fairbrain, bringing you the latest in Rams sports. What do you two have for us today?
Thanks, Jen. Coming up next on Primetime Sports, Erica and I discuss if Coach Adazio is the right fit for CSU.
Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after the break.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back from the break, Rams, and to this week's edition of Primetime Sports. I'm Erica Johnson.
And I'm Brendan Fairbairn.
A lot of great things happened over this weekend. CSU men's basketball won the border war against Wyoming, and tennis won their first matchup this season.
Which made it hard for us to recognize who was doing the most for CSU. This week, Erica, want to start us off on who you believe did the most this week?
This week, I want to highlight the women's tennis team. Priscilla Perlamo and Alyssa Grlava won their doubles matchup this weekend. 6-4, Emily Luschwager and Stella Cliff won their doubles matchup 7-5. The Rams clinched the doubles points and had 2 wins in singles. Emma Corwin and the other from Grlava, which both lost their first sets but won the last 2. The Rams beat GCU 4-3. Head coach Jared Camerado was pleased with the outcome of this weekend's matchup. This was a great team win. We showed a lot of resilience. Credit to GCU. They fought hard and made us earn it. We have to keep believing and playing with energy, and our results will continue to improve. Now, we just need to recover and get ready for Nebraska. I'm excited to see what they do in Nebraska, but how about that men's basketball?
Yeah, this week, CSU men's basketball, senior guard Chris Martin is doing the most. Martin had 13 points and 5 rebounds against Wyoming last Saturday, all coming in the second half, and most of them in the final minutes, obviously when it matters the most. But what I love the most about Martin was his confidence. Every shot he took was behind the arc. He ended up going 3 for 7, but baking it in when it matters the most. As you can see here, Martin hits this clutch 3 on the outside with 39 seconds remaining to give CSU their first lead of the second half. And Wyoming ends up fouling Martin twice in the final 20 seconds, sending him to the line 4 times. He nails all 4, solidifying the 19-point comeback for the CSU Rams. This is CSU's first sweep of Wyoming since 2017. That is why Chris Martin is getting my Doing the Most award.
Yeah, it was an insane game. We were at that game, and it was just crazy to see how they really stepped it up after the half. Yeah. They really just brought it. And I think it's because of that Mountain West championship. They really want that spot and to continue on with that. But isn't there one more person that's doing the most?
Yeah, there is. Another person who's doing the most is the CSU rock climbing team's co-captain Anna Kelly, who just got back from her national competition.
It's not for the weak. It's not for the faint of heart. It's a sport only for the most mentally and physically tough. And these athletes met in Redmond, Oregon to test their skills at a national level. One of these tough competitors is Anna Kelly, the co-captain of the CSU climbing team.
A few of the guys didn't qualify first round, so they didn't want to come. They were more focused on climbing outside, and then it was just kind of expensive.
While Anna makes this look easy, one physical or mental slip-up could determine whether you move on or go home.
But it's really important to kind of keep yourself psyched and be psyched on your own style, your own strengths, and your own just like successes and failures, and just kind of like ride your own rhythm and just generate off of that and feed off of that.
Growing up, seeing another female athlete in a very male-dominated industry, it was really cool for me to see that that's not only possible to do, but also succeed in. And I think seeing somebody wholeheartedly pursue what they want to do, regardless of their circumstances or encouragement around them, I think is really awe-inspiring.
Anna made top 20 at nationals, qualifying her for the next round. Some were not so fortunate, eliminated by fractions of points. Points are determined by 2 factors: how many attempts it takes to climb and which zone you get to. Each zone has a number of points associated with it. The higher up the rock the zone, the more points you get. The most being 25 at the top. Each and every time you try to climb the rock and fail, you lose 1/10 of a point. Nationals are over and Anna has one thing on her mind: training for the next round.
Turning on the intensity, being able to be in your own energy when you have a lot of extra input from the crowd and from the cameras and judges and all that stuff.
Anna and the team will be competing in the Collegiate National Circuit later this year in April.
Yeah, speaking about championships, our first question for Rambuzz, we asked Ram fans if they thought it was fact or fiction that the Rams women's swim and dive team will win their first Mountain West title this weekend. I'm going to have to go fiction on this one, Erica, because San Diego State has so many returning players, and they won it last year. And the biggest thing is San Diego State has a top 3 player in 16 out of the 21 events. And CSU only has a top 3 player in 2 events. So it's going to be an uphill battle for CSU to win their first title.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they do with this team, with UNLV, just because it's just going to be a hard team for them to beat, just because they were national champs last year.
Yeah, Erica, I cannot believe this. Are you finally agreeing with me? I'm in shock right now.
Well, don't get used to it too soon, because we still have one more Rambuzz question. For question number 2, we asked Rams, are you satisfied with the hire of Coach Adazio, or do you think CSU should have hired someone else? Brendan, what do you think?
Erica, I'm going to have to stick with Coach Adazio because he has the experience. He coached at Florida State, Indiana, and Notre Dame. And the biggest thing is he coached in a way harder conference. He coached in the AAC where you have Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina State, and I think that's just going to transfer really well into the Mountain West Conference. And despite his 500 record at Boston College, he was a great recruiter. He was the #1 recruiter back in 2010. And I think I'm actually really excited to see what he does with this program moving forward. Not only this year, but more years to come.
Yeah, see, I have to go with Ed McCaffrey. I really wanted Ed McCaffrey just because of his ties to Colorado, his family connections. He has Dylan at Michigan and Christian McCaffrey, one of the best running backs. And he grew up watching his dad, and he has that NFL experience, and so does his son. So, I don't know. I don't see how I can say that as you're a Bronco fan.
Okay, yeah, you got me there. I am a big Bronco fan. I love Ed McCaffrey, but come on. He was a high school coach. He coached for Valor. He had success. He won 10-2. Yeah.
Well, and they're also one of the top recruiting high schools in Colorado.
Yeah, but going from high school to a D1 school is a bit of a leap, Erica. It's a way big of a leap, and I just think with his new head coaching stint with UNC Bears, I think that will help further his resume for coaching. And who knows, you might be right in a few years. He might be the head coach for CSU if Adazio don't work out, but I don't see that happening.
Well, Brendan, you can believe what you want. Because I believe that our next clips for Can You Do That this week are some of the best we have ever had.
You're right there, Erica. Our first video, we go to Harlan Day High School in Texas where senior Nate Espinoza does his own version of a layup. Can't miss this here. Nate Espinoza gets the ball, passes it to him, and you think he's just going to go for a regular layup. He just throws it up as high as he can and just sinks it in. He gets a lot of fashion points for me on that one.
Well, is it about the shoes, though? Let's see. This next Can You Do That? We go to the gym with YouTube star Tristan Jass. As you see right here, he walks in, fancy feet. Look at that, off the wall, spin. Oh, right in the net. Said it's got to be the shoes.
Yeah, Erica, whatever shoes he has, I need to buy me a pair right away. And for our final Can You Do That play, we have Harlem Globetrotter Maxwell Pierce and YouTube Rob Vacco showing their chemistry on the court. Here we have Rob doing some crazy dribbles, and this is the best part. Doesn't even look back at the ball, just a leap of faith, and just lands perfectly in his hands and just slams it down. One of the most impressive dunks I've seen in a long time.
Well, I'm too short to try that dunk, but maybe I could try one of those layups.
Well, Erica, like Tristan just said, it's all in the shoes, so just buy you a pair and you'll be fine. But if you remember, if you're able to do any of these, make sure to show us on Twitter and we'll include you on next week's show. I know Erica and I would love to see if any of you can do what we saw today.
Well, Rams, that's all we have for you tonight. But make sure to tune in tomorrow for the first Ram Life show of the year with hosts Emily Piskew and Angel Cooper. Have a great night, Rams.